And
Hi.
folks, hello and welcome to a very special Dungeons, Dragons, and Discourse live. And when I'm live, we're actually live in the afternoon on Friday.
We certainly
Although,
are.
except if you're in the UK, in which case it's early evening.
It is 6 p.m.
There you go.
We
So,
want people over there to go to bed on a regular hour.
wow, let's not push our luck. Folks, I am Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR. With me is Glenn Halstrom, Old Man Grognard, and with us, Glynn Seal, Mr. Monkeyblood himself.
Hello.
The man, the monkey, the legend.
The man, the monkey, the legend? All right, if you say so.
It sounded right.
That sounds like a social media strap line.
Probably is.
I'll take it.
So, Glenn,
Yeah.
we've been angling to get you on for a long time. And we even had something scheduled that I, couldn't keep because of events in this family.
Happened.
But I'm glad that we were able to make this work. So very cool.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
It's always
Yeah.
a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, we always like to talk about what you're up to and what's next and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Wow. There's always something going on. I never stop. So probably the most recent thing is Rycroft finally going out to backers.
Yep.
There it is.
One, the very same.
Yeah. And by the way, folks, there's a link if you want to make a purchase on the bottom of the screen. Yeah. See, we're all showing our copies. Now, here I'll tell this now, and I'll tell this later on the stream. But I have a second copy of the Rycroft collection,
Right.
and I have a copy to give away. So if you go to tankcars.tavern@gmail.com, use subject Rycroft, get your entry in by midnight Sunday, which would be the 17th. I'll randomly pick somebody to get my second collection, my second copy. That's U.S. only. Doesn't mean that if you're not U.S., you can't, submit your email. Submit it. If I pull somebody that happens to be the UK, Australia, New Zealand, Romania, Lithuania, wherever, they'll get a $20 drive-through gift certificate, and I'll repick till I get somebody.
Which is what, 5 cents in pounds
No, it's pretty
or
close.
euros?
I think it's
Parity at this point.
$20 is £14 or something like that.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it still
Yes.
held some
Not
weight.
a bad rate. Not a bad rate.
Paladin, welcome. Mark, welcome.
Hello.
Good to see you all in the chat. So by the way, if you have questions for Glenn, feel free to hit him with it.
Yes.
I can see the chat. So
Okay. One thing I want to get out of the way is the last thing I got from you was the Bats of St. Ebbas. And now I got Rycroft. Anything in between there we should know about or they should know about? Because
so what about fighting folk of the Haven Isles? Was that after the Bats of St. Albans?
I think it was. Because I remember the other Haven Isles one. Yeah, I remember that, but I knew you had some stuff going on, but I couldn't figure out what.
I'm just pulling up my. Right, okay, yeah. So the last project before Rycroft was Fighting Folk of the Haven Isles, which is that one.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a companion to Folk Magic of the Haven Isles, which is for magic users. This is more for fighters, so it's lots of different. It's kind of subclasses basically for fighters, so you can take a fighter and some subclass stuff to it. Prior to that, in fact, there's been a lot. There's been a lot since Okay.
Didn't you do a couple more Mitterzines or something like that?
Yes. So the one before Fighting Folk was Ascaleth, the last great city, which was a zine. It was in association with Rabbit Halfling Press, a couple of great guys over in Sweden, I think. And they wrote it and provided some artwork, and I did all the layout and ran the Kickstarter.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, nice.
So it's system neutral. It's just a zine. It's available on the website. Prior to that, there was another Handy Maps, which were Dungeon Strange Locales. So building on the two previous sets,
right?
Which were towns and villages.
You sir have got me spoiled because anything you turn out now, anything, including this, the first thing I think of is, okay, where is it in the Midlands?
Yeah,
I know you covered that in here, but
yeah. I tend to do that. So, there was a project before Handy Maps called Rancid Canyons of the Floating Death Sheet, which had 3 variants, and I put that in kind of the Midlands version of North Africa, and the Kickstarter that was before that was for Midazine 6 and 7, and Midazine 6 opened up the world that the Midlands is in.
Nice.
Show a world map.
I mean, the 5 you sent me was like, whoa, look at all that stuff.
Yeah, so 6 and 7 were the last 2 Midazines, and there was a Kickstarter for those.
Right. And I seem to remember, didn't you put out Midlands for 5e?
Yeah, so that was with Necromancer Games ran that. And yeah, so that's a US letter-sized book, all full color artwork. So all the maps got redone in color, and all of the black and white artwork got recolorized. And then I did all the layout for that. And the guys at Necromancer Games, for God, ran the Kickstarter for that. So there is a 5e version. I think if you look on Eric's shelf behind him, the picture of the 5e Midlands version.
Hold on.
2 across from the Arduin Grimoire. Yeah, the Midlands. So that's the 5e version.
He's got a fake background up.
It's not a fake background. It's a real background. It's just and it's in this room. It's just not right behind me. I'd have to put my desk in front of Rachel's chair if I was going to. It wouldn't work. Oh, actually, yeah, I'd have to be facing Rach then too. Yeah, no, it wouldn't work.
I have got a copy of it, but I've just IKEA Kallax shelves. These so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 bays.
Wow.
And I can never find anything.
Oh God, no.
I gotcha. Okay, we're all caught up with you. You're welcome, Eric.
What do I do? I'm innocent. I'm all, come on.
Well,
it's only when I do things like that I realise how many things I've done, and I still find it hard to believe that I managed to get all this stuff done somehow.
You're like me with my artwork.
Yeah,
drag out the portfolio out there, and it's like, where did all this artwork come from?
Yeah, I'm going through like freelance projects folders, and I look in one and I go, what was that? And I look in and I'm looking at the map and I'm like, I have this vague recollection of drawing that, but I don't really remember it.
Yep.
And this was, I think this is age, because this is.
Yeah, I know. I look at something and say, I thought that was in my sketchbook. I guess not.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I guess none of us are getting any younger, are we?
Yeah.
Young whippersnappers. Hi, RPG Grandma.
I'm consciously fighting against my memory.
Oh yeah. So, what are we talking about? Rycroft or?
Yeah. So I'll grab my copy here.
Ryan.
So yeah, Rycroft.
Ta-da.
So really, the premise of Rycroft.
Yeah, give us a lowdown on that.
Yeah. So It's an abandoned cemetery. It was abandoned 108 years ago when the locals rose up against the abbess and the abbots that ruled before. They had an issue with the abbess. They burnt her at the stake and they totally razed the abbey, and it's just been left abandoned.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
So the kind of order that was there kind of venerated insects and things. So they wanted the locals to have all of their burials within the cemetery, so they'd be protected from grave robbers and raising evil necromancers, that sort of stuff. So the real reason was that they could use the carcasses to feed the insects, because they were experimenting and trying to make sentient insects and giant insects and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of the underlying thing. But over the course of 180 years, things have happened below ground, and these insects have kind of took on their own kind of motivations and things. And there's basically factions now beneath the ground and occasionally surfacing above ground, vying for control over their own motivations. So underground, lots of things are happening. So the actual map has kind of got two sides, the poster map. So that's the whole
above ground
ground of the abbey, and then below ground, I'll try not to show this for too long, but those are all of the caves and burrows, and they're color coded so that different factions have different control.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, you can. There's different entry points into the below ground areas, so you can go and basically just loot the cemetery if you want, but you're going to run into some undesirables during the course of play. So yeah, it's kind of there's about 20 hooks to get you in there, but it's up to the GM really how much they want to kind of spend time in it, because you could spend a lot of time in there. But you could also just swing in, do a bit of grave robbing, and then out.
This looks like you should put it next to like Barrow Maze.
Yeah.
It's like Barrow Maze's black sheep cousin.
Yeah. There's a bit that sets it in the Midlands, if you want to put it in the Midlands. Tells you where to locate it. There's a couple of drive-through print on demand products. One is a bunch of GM inserts, so you can use like a GM screen. This is a GM screen that I bought off Amazon.
Ooh,
and it's
nice.
Kind of got some nice. You can do this without dropping it. So,
wow, it's huge.
That's
yeah,
nice.
it's really useful actually, because you can have it as 4-panel that way.
Hey, Dave.
4-panel that way.
A fellow countryman here, Dave.
Who's that?
David Thompson.
Yeah. That rings a bell. So yeah, there's 11 GM inserts, so you can use whichever ones you want. Then there's a memorial deck. So if you don't want to generate all of the memorials randomly, you can basically order the deck, which is 120 cards, and then they give you various information. I don't know whether that's the right way around. It's probably backwards, which is that's me having not messed with my settings properly.
Oh, wait, hold on. I can probably adjust that. Hold on.
Hey, there you go.
That looks correct.
Flip you around.
Oh, right. Okay, I'll try that again. So yeah, these are the level 3 backers of the Kickstarter got access to free print.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
So basically, that would be the Grim Reaper has come engraved on the stone in Thieves script. Rowan Cooper, 1380 to 1401, age 21. So the type and material that the grave marker's made from, smaller details, optional grave goods, and things like that. And if it's in the pet area of the cemetery, then alternative pet names.
One thing I like about this setting is that you, like other books I like to use like this, you gave me a lot of tables. I like tables.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch in the appendices just for generating memorials, generating whatever you need in there. You get
look at that. See that? That's the appendix.
Yeah, exactly. So and
that's just a bit of it.
Yeah, there's 2 booklets. The memorials record. So if you're going around and you want to record a particular memorial and something that happened there or some information, you can just jot that in this book. Okay. And then there's a collectibles record. So this is if you're following one of the collectibles pathways, which is the stained glass window that's broken, and you're trying to get all the parts to reassemble.
Yeah, it's all glass pieces.
Yeah. Or there's some tombs that need some specific items putting in them, and if you do that and read from a book, then you can summon.
Oh, and you also got what's his name? His bones.
Yes. So there's a reliquary.
Something.
Relics. Yeah. So, and that contains the bones of a saint, and they're all like copper-plated bones with sigils etched on them. So, if you find all of those bones that can rebuild the cleric, the saint, and put him back in the box, you can summon his golem, which is quite a powerful ally to have.
Yeah.
So there's kind of a lot of things going on within it, and it's just now starting to get out to backers. So that's quite exciting.
Well, that's good.
To see people, getting their hands on it. So that's Rycroft. Yeah. I
like seeing successful Kickstarters.
Oh God, yeah.
It did about 11,700 in total. That's pounds, so $16,000.
Well,
I've got to be honest. I thought it would be stronger. It's for old school essentials rather than swords and wizardry, which is a lot of the stuff that I've done before.
Right.
They're interchangeable.
Basically, they've both got ascending, descending armor class.
I could pull out old BX and use this.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of BX systems out there anyway. LOTFP and OSE, and
Although my mischievous mind might put this in Hyperborea.
Yeah. There's a little bit more work for Hyperborea, isn't there? Because it's more AD&D based.
Yeah.
With different stuff. But not sure where I'd put it in Hyperborea, but definitely somewhere with a good population centre. Relatively.
I'm thinking that one coastal town that's basically Innsmouth there, like about a few miles outside of that.
Yeah. Well, there's Port Greeley, isn't there?
That's it. Port Greeley.
Yeah. I don't know how you remember that.
By the way, folks, he also made beautiful maps for Hyperborea.
Yeah. Thank you.
Glenn's maps are second to none.
Oh gosh, yes.
And
don't let Diesel hear that.
Oh, I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but the link to Rycroft is on the bottom of the screen. It's a shortened link. But if you want to get your very own copy, I have an extra of the set. Email tenkars.tavern@gmail.com. Subject Rycroft. I will pick somebody at random to receive a copy. It's U.S. only, but I don't care where you live. Send me an email. If you're outside the States, I'll send you a $20 drive-through if you're one of the people I randomly choose. But this is awesome, and I'm just gonna point out, these books are not print on demand. Okay. Look, it's got a ribbon. You see that? It's got a ribbon.
And printed
You know?
end
Yes,
papers.
very nice.
They get that off dry
Oh my God,
print on
RPG
demand.
Grandma says she wants to drop it into Arduin.
Oh well.
Whoa.
That would be a little kick ass now, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
There's something else actually that I didn't run a Kickstarter for.
What's that?
That is a new product.
Keep us in suspense.
This.
Ooh, what? Ooh.
What is?
Is that a box to store all your Midland stuff?
Oh,
my God, I'm probably so in for that. Oh, jeez.
Now it gets better. It gets better.
I'm looking at my Midland stuff. It's like, could I really fit it in that box?
It'd be a help.
It would. Oh, that's beautiful.
So it's a dice tray with hit locations.
Nice.
And the bottom part is quick reference
nice.
information. So town names, first names,
See that?
trades, taverning.
Does it have?
And then
Yeah.
it gets better. This is the insert that goes in the box. So you can store your pens and dice.
Nice.
Holy moly.
This is for putting your marching order on with your minis. And this is a turn counter. So you just use a token and that would do a whole 24 hours.
Nice. Very nice.
So very useful in OSE and Rycroft where you're tracking your turns.
Wow.
Especially while you're in there. And then that's all the stuff that I fit in there. All the midazines, copy of fighting.
I'll probably try and cram all the books in there.
Yeah, I mean, basically it's for putting all of the Great London maps and the midazines and the bookmarks, and because it's a lot of extra information that there was an old Midlands box that I used to have, which was the black box with the foil front, but they couldn't do foiling on the edge, so it was a separate sticker. Yeah, and I whilst it's kind of like the Handy Maps box, but the idea of having a deluxe printed 4-color box throughout is usable.
Beautiful. By the way, Chris, he said he got them printed in Lithuania. Oh, the box set? I don't know about the box set.
The white block. So this box set was printed in the UK.
Nice.
Now, the company, I only had 100 made, so the cost of a box is a fortune,
right?
Because it's a very short run and they're bespoke, they're custom made. So they're selling on the web. I think it's £25 for a box, but most of that's cost. But I really wanted to have them because they're so useful for storing all the stuff, and it sits on the shelf, which was really one of the goals. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. But I didn't kickstart it. Maybe I should have.
Well, it is just a box when you come down to it. But I'm not going to disparage it anyway.
I like it.
I think it's great.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Rach would be happy to see me get more organized with my gaming material.
I think if I'd have just done a box, it would have not been much cheaper. With the 4-color printing on both sides, lid and base, but trying to make it so that it's more usable with the turn tracker and quick reference information and hit location dice tray, kind of made it more than a box. So, well, that was the hope anyway. I've sold a few of them so far, but I haven't recouped. haven't recouped the spend yet. I was hoping if Rycroft did better. Well,
we'll see what happens. So when does it go on general sale?
So Rycroft is, I think it's going on general sale from next Monday. Now, I don't like to do it so soon after a Kickstarter, but the problem that I have as a creator is I need to kind of take advantage of people getting their copies, showing them on social media, review copies. If you miss that slot, that where it's in the front of people's minds and they can quickly click a link and go and buy it, then you lose some momentum there, and then it's just a harder sale after. So, and I've always left things, but this time, because I use a fulfillment company, they want to put it into retail. So it should appear in shops.
RPG Grandma is asking, how do we find your email?
Putting it back up on the screen. When I highlight a comment, it kicks off the email, but that's the email.
Oh, I thought she meant Glenn's email.
No, my email. So she can enter and potentially win herself. Not win. Be gifted. I don't like that word "win." It's not a contest. There's no skill involved.
And you can find Glenn at Monkeyblood Games.
Monkeyblooddesign.co.uk. All one word.
Like I say, his website is right at the bottom of the screen. So now, Glenn, I got a question for you. How did the Midlands come about? Because I know it's based upon real world locations.
The UK.
Or at least inspired by. But how did it come about? What made you think of, hey, I got to do the Midlands?
So it didn't start off as me wanting to create a setting. It started off as me doodling in front of the TV whilst my girlfriend was watching telly, and it wasn't stuff that I really wanted to watch. So
been there.
I was doodling monster heads and bodies and things, and then very much in the vein of Tony DeTilitz's Spiderwick Chronicles, if you're familiar with that.
I'm familiar with it. I never really read it.
Yeah. It's like the idea of things hiding in the real world. I sort of, the appeal of that was pretty strong, really. So I then started to think, I wonder where could this creature live? Could I write a book where these things had a place in the area where I live? And then it just kind of evolved from there. And then I thought, why don't I make this a setting? Like I could make this a medieval setting easily. So then I drew the map, and then that's when like all the places that I was familiar with, that I've kind of been to or I've seen, then I started to write them into setting material. And then I did the creatures as part of that. And so it kind of developed from there. And then, so this is back in 2016, 2017. And then, and then it kind of just evolved. I'd written a couple of products before that, just very early tester stuff, which was like a very simple system neutral 5-page adventure, Staff of the Last Hill Chief or something like that. And then I did one called the Demon Stones, which was the first proper attempt. That was written for Pathfinder, and there is a Swords and Wizardry version. And then I think it was pretty much having done those two that's when I thought the Midlands could work. All these creatures could work in a setting. And it just sort of evolved from there. Lots of spin-off books and extra content through the Midazines. Midazine 8 is sort of half done, and it's been half done for a long time.
Yeah, his stuff, folks, as far as game go, it'll change you.
Oh, it's brilliant.
It'll like, your mind's going to go, hey, it just opens up. Like, I could do all this or all this or all this. The kind of things that GM wants to happen.
Yeah, I think I call it game juice, which is something that just it gives you enough information for you to be able to say, right, I've got an idea, and then you're off.
And boy, do you put a lot of ideas in those books. Wow.
Yeah, I think I think part of it for me is if I just chose one of those and then extrapolated it out and I just did that, it's too, like, I don't know, like it takes something away from a game master, because the game master adds something, but when they run it,
Right.
So if I'm nailing everything down, then some people prefer that, but it's not really my style. I like to kind of go off.
You tweak it the way you want at your table. So
Well, players will never follow whatever idea I've got in my mind anyway.
Oh God, never.
A little bit of player chaos is always fun.
Yeah, they're good at that chaos.
Oh yeah, very good.
Yeah, so that's where it all sort of came from. So if you go on the map of the Midlands and you find a specific location, a point of interest, and you ask me about that, there'll be some real world explanation about exactly where that came about.
Oh yeah.
So that's why that's why I love the Midlands. I love reading the Midlands, because it's like, this could almost sort of be true history, maybe, sort of. It feels legit enough. It's grounded in real life, real history, and that carries over. I really do. I've always enjoyed it.
Well, the humor always got me. I mean, I love the description and stuff, but it's like, this guy's brain works like mine.
Yeah. That's the Blackadder influence growing up. The 70s.
I mean, this is like Monty Python and a couple other things.
Yeah. That's all influences from my childhood.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
David, another point. No plot line survives contact with the players.
Of course not.
That is true. That's why I like being an improv DM/GM. Because if I plan out too much, my players don't use any of the crap that I planned out anyway.
Right. This is how I work as a GM. I set up the basic situation or the plot for the adventure or whatever, and then I just grab onto the player's coattails and just hang on. Because, you could do this, you could do this. Oh, you're going to do this. Okay, fine, let's go.
Yeah, I've got a group just like that.
Is that a bad thing?
I have to get my own back when I start playing and they're running a game as well. I'm going to balls that right up for you.
Oh. Why do they keep asking about showgirls?
Oh, that's because I did a video yesterday on Watsy did a Twitter post of Life of a Showgirl with artwork from one of the prior releases. It was stupid and ridiculous.
Okay.
But they did it apparently because, oh God, what? No, it's not Miley Cyrus. It's one of the other idiots.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift, the Swifties, thank you, has Life of a Showgirl album coming out. So Watsy decided they were going to jump on that.
Oh boy. And
so I did it. Listen, if you can't tell a video was a joke when it announces Watsy announces new release SG1 Life of a Showgirl for fall 2025. If you can't tell that somebody is trolling Watsy, that if you think it's a real release, I'm sorry. That tells you how far Watsy has fallen. If you really believe Watsy would release that, then we're in a new reality, and it's not a good one for Watsy.
Not at all. No.
I think with D&D now, I've accepted it's not written for me. I'm not its demographic, and that's fine. It's a shame, but we've got all of this prior content that's available, and we love it. And so whilst it's a shame that it's not. No, it's the current stuff is no longer for us.
Well, here's the thing, though, like D&D 5e 2014, as they call it now, was still classic D&D at its core. It still had that feel. Now, 2024, they tell you it's completely compatible with the old rules, but you can't mix and match the books because it's like crossing the streams in Ghostbusters. It causes like a spontaneous combustion. But they've changed the game rules fluff to be a totally different default setting, default inference as to what it is. And yeah, I mean, if you think that you're going to sell games by targeting Swifties, you're probably going to be licensing out your IP within the next couple of years, like Games Workshop does,
or losing money.
Oh, they are. My opinion, not to go off track, but my thoughts is that for WotC, the game itself is a secondary concern.
Yeah.
The game was supposed to drive the 3D engine, but the 3D engine crapped the pot, and that's gone. But the game itself is almost like a time and money sink for them. Mm-hmm. So, Games Workshop had a very popular, but probably very time-intensive man-hours IP of Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. And what did they do? They licensed it out and said, let somebody else, we'll take the money, but not have to put any effort into it. And I somehow see that's the future, I think, of D&D.
So that's possible. That's possible.
It seems to me that they're kind of floundering, really. They're not quite sure what to do with it anymore.
No.
Because they can't.
That's why it's easier. That's why it's easier for guys like you to put stuff out, because leave WotC alone long enough and they're gonna screw up on something. And everybody's gonna go, okay, let's go over here to the Midlands or something like that.
I think with the stuff that I like is it's got a bit darker edge. It's got a bit of threat. And when I was at UK Games Expo, there was a copy, I think, of the 2024 Players Handbook, and I kind of had a bit of a flick through it, and just all of the pictures seemed too happy, like everybody's smiling, and it's like, oh, it's a lovely old time here, And I'm like, I miss the sense of danger, the sense of threat, and so I think that's the main thing for me. It just doesn't seem like it's going to be worth fighting for.
What's surprising to me, I don't know if this was like, as opposed to a few years ago when 5e actually first came out, and a few years after that, but right now I'm having more of when I want to start doing this, I have more success with 5e players wanting to play 1e or old school essentials. The thing I love about old school essentials is most of the new players don't know about BX. So you go, hey, here's this new game, let's play it, and they're like, sure. I mean, they're a lot more acceptable for the older stuff than they used to, like a few years ago. I don't know if COVID had anything to do with that, but there it is.
I think COVID affected my memory.
I wish it would affect mine.
But it's that I was talking to somebody the other day. I was just saying that COVID just seemed like, in the UK anyway, COVID just seemed like this really weird time. I remember we were locked down. You pretty much couldn't go anywhere. And I lived on a main A road, which is like a main busy road. And there were no cars. And the foxes were coming out at night.
Oh, wow.
Coming up to your front door. Just like really weird. And banging pots and pans at 8 p.m. on a certain day. I can't remember what day it was, to thank the NHS for
healthcare workers, yes.
Yeah. So it was just surreal. And I remember, because I didn't live with my girlfriend at the time, so I was treated as a separate household. So I couldn't go and stay in that household. So I was going and getting shopping and dropping it off and then waving to her through the window. I'm just like, this is bonkers.
Yeah, that's.
I haven't known anything like it.
Glynn, I got hospitalized with pneumonia and sepsis, which it hit when I was at a convention, and got really worse over the course of like a week, and I got hospitalized, and that was right as COVID was hitting New York, and it was Elmhurst Hospital, which was ground zero for New York, but they didn't have any like positive cases yet, but it was symptoms. I had all the symptoms, so they isolation and pressure room, 3 days, and then they released me without a positive test. Still waiting on it. Back then, they didn't have quick tests, but they didn't think I had COVID. I just had pneumonia and sepsis. So I got released and found out like 2 days later I didn't have it, but I could hear, because that's about a mile from my house, I could hear the sirens for literally weeks, nonstop, going to the hospital or going to a job, and it was surreal. It was something I in New York City was planning on using public parks to bury people, because that's how much death they thought they were going to get. Now, we never did.
Yeah,
it never got to that state, but Elmhurst Hospital did have initially so many patients passing that they had the refrigerated trucks parked down the block from the hospital, lined up for about a month and a half before the numbers started shifting. The initial was scary.
yeah,
and then it went on like anything else in this world. It's like, oh well, we already have these protocols in place. Remove them? I don't know, but that requires the decision making. It's like, oh come on.
yeah.
Oh, man.
Life goes on.
COVID here in Oklahoma was like a little weird. See, I stay home anyway because I'm a house husband. But now I've got my wife here. She's working remote. And I took a little break in the middle of COVID to go to the hospital and get my pancreas and spleen cut out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And it's like, you sure you want to do this? We're in the middle of COVID. Yeah. What? Next month? Whatever. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So that was like, whoa.
Yeah. What a time. What a time.
Yeah.
2020 is a year that I'd be very happy to just erase from memory.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I had a total of 3 hospitalizations, and not one was. I didn't come down with COVID until 2021, but it was just one of those. It was one of those years that was just totally crappy. I'm very happy overall with 2025. A few low points, but I mean 2025. Hey, let's rock it. Thank you very much.
I think I couldn't have doing this full time since 2017.
Really?
I couldn't have survived COVID or the impacts of COVID in terms of not running Kickstarters because you couldn't ship things,
right?
A bit of a nightmare. Without all of the freelance work that was going on, and a lot of like US clients were still, because digital stuff could easily cross borders. It's no problem. So I ended up surviving through doing lots of freelance work until the store opened up a little bit. But after that, the store was never quite the same as it was pre-COVID. And the thing is, because you're not running Kickstarters, what happens with the Kickstarter is it generates lots of interest, and then people come to your web store. They add lots of add-on things when they're checking out for their Kickstarters. So it kind of continues rolling, but then COVID pretty much stopped that, and it sort of dipped. And then really Rycroft was probably I was going to run Rycroft back in 2022. That's when the Kickstarter was. I think that will be when I run it. And it's just the opportunity never arose, just because I became so busy with freelance stuff,
right,
that I never got the gaps in the schedule to go, right, I now need to focus on this. I had to force myself to get Rycroft.
Well, I said I wouldn't do any stage shows until COVID was over, because I see my fellow actors going on stage. I said, I'm not wearing any mask on stage. No way.
Yeah.
You know, you already got me masked up. I'm not doing it on stage.
Yeah, with like my sister lives out in Long Island. We have a lot of birthdays in December in my family. We drove to my sister's house. She had chairs in December in the front yard, and exchanged gifts outside, because that was the year the Earth stood still, right? And I'm surprised that there hasn't been a movie rendition of COVID, because we've seen versions of this stuff before it ever happened, right? Like the world gets hit with the virus and everybody, and
28 days later,
yeah, actually 28 days, 28 weeks, 28 months, right? 28 years, and the whole series was actually pretty good. The first one was the best, but yeah, I did like that.
Yeah, that's probably inspired by COVID.
Well, they're writing the script for 2028, which is being written in Alaska at the moment. Donald Trump and President Putin, I think, are writing the script for that. So we'll see how that comes out.
No comment.
We are meeting in all the Russian territory. We will trade Ukraine for Alaska. Yes, sound good?
Yeah.
That no comment. It's politics.
I don't want to start talking about tariffs and
politics and gaming do not mix.
De minimis thresholds.
Yeah, I mean, the tariff thing. I know a lot of publishers, and most of the publishers I know are smaller publishers, and you literally are balancing pennies to make a profit, and tariffs will screw with your math immediately.
Don Samora.
Yeah.
He's publishing Gangbusters with here. He's printing it here, where he said, I found a whole lot of paper somewhere. I said, yeah, you go for it.
That's the whole thing, right? Because the economy these days is literally an integrated worldwide economy. Love it or hate it, that is the world we live in. And it's only going to get more integrated as the years go on. So even in the U.S., most of our medications come from India. It's yeah. So I mean, you're not going to this whole thing of like stop the world. I want to get off. It doesn't work that way.
I mean, it's. Because the UK, sending stuff out to the UK and being a UK publisher, I think it's 65, I haven't got the exact, it's between 60 and 70% of my audience and market is the US. So having the tariffs like on top of that is a huge deal, because
yes, it is.
People are already struggling with the cost of living. So the choices are, do I really wait and save up for this book I really want? Or, because before you had a bit more disposable income, you go, I'm going to buy that because I like the look of it. Now those decisions are being kind of weighed more heavily. So the problem you've then got is that you're not getting the sales on the web store, and consequently the revenue is going down. So when I'm getting books printed, if they're to have printed end papers and ribbon bookmarks and all of that, with shrink wrap poster maps and separate booklets, there's a lot of cost in that, and that means that I've got to sell the volume to keep the cost down. I've got to sell the volume, and that then becomes the struggle, because the market's being careful because the cost of the product is so high. And really the route through that could end up being that Monkeyblood goes more on a print on demand route, which I don't want to do,
right?
Because I can't create what I want to create. I've got to create for the format.
And you can't control the production of it as well as you can if you're not doing POD?
Yeah, so the Midlands, the third printing of the Midlands, which has got the different cover, so that's the latest version, and that's printed in Lithuania with the ribbon bookmarks and
Pretty.
Printed end papers. Now you can buy it off Drive Through RPG as well. So there's a soft cover version, which is 6x9 because they don't do A5, which is annoying. And then there's the hardcover version, but you don't get the ribbon bookmark, you don't get the printed end paper. So you you're having to sacrifice some utility,
Right.
But at least it's printed in the country where you are, and the shipping's cheap. And
Right.
That's where I think this will end up possibly heading, because if you're outside of the US at the moment, you're going to really struggle to make it viable.
Yeah.
Quality stuff.
Now that I've dragged the podcast down, my question is, can you give us a little idea of what's coming up next?
Yeah, sort of. So in between all of the freelancing that's going on, I've got my own system. Ooh. Now, nobody wants me to create another OSR system. I'm pretty sure there are enough out there. Like, you're spoilt for choice. There's no need for me to create another one that's just going to be a house ruled version of a BX or an OD&D set. So I never wanted to do that. But it's taken me a while to get a system that I thought was fun. So this is controversial. Prepare yourselves.
Okay.
3D10, and you roll to beat a target number. Now, that sounds a bit crazy because you've got quite a bell curve.
Right.
I'm a little hard of hearing. You say 3D10?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So your average is, the highest probability is going to be 16, 17.
Right.
But if you start adding bonuses to that, it kind of shifts the bell curve. So if your target number was 29 and you've got no bonuses.
I'm sorry, when you said 3D10, I thought you meant 3 percentile dice. I was like, oh my God, how many choices are going to have?
No, just 3D10. So from 3 to 30.
Yeah.
Now, different things. So if you've got an area of knowledge in something, it will allow you to re-roll one of the dice. So you can increase the potential for getting a higher target number by having an area of knowledge in there.
Do they explode?
Okay, so they do if you are rolling against a test that's one of your favored stats. You can explode 10s. So if you've chosen, say, strength as a favored stat, and you can choose it more than once when you gain levels. So if you've got it as a favored stat once, you can explode 110. And if you've got it as a favored stat twice, you could explode up to 2 10s.
Okay.
So between re-rolls and exploding 10s, you could end up generating some amazing high target numbers.
It's good you restrict. I like the way you restrict the exploding, so it doesn't really get, out of hand.
Yeah, it can get out of hand.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the essence of the system. It's had some play testing. I really like it. There was an earlier version that was 3D6 with the same kind of scenario, but it didn't really give me the range. Like when you're trying to create a really high boss creature, 3D6 didn't really give me the range that I wanted. So we switched that to 10s, and then that was much better. So yeah, that's like the beta test of the rules is created. It just needs some more time, I think, to do some more play testing. That's really what I'd like to do next, although I suspect that it could be Midazine 8 or something next.
Okay.
I just need to be careful. I haven't really decided because of the tariff situation. That's going to be a massive factor. There's something in the tariffs called informational materials, and if RPG books become exempt because it's a book and it's considered informational material, there won't be any tariff.
I've always told people about game books. All game books are reference books.
Yeah. Now, if there was a case with Shadowrun's 6th edition where the US Customs, I believe, ruled that it was considered an informational material. So that sets a bit of a precedent to say that, you know, a book on its own, RPG book, an informational
material. That's a nice loophole.
No tariff. But that the jury's a bit out on that. And what happens if it's a bundled product? So it's a majority book, but there's some posters attached as well. Does that still qualify as information?
Yeah.
Technically, it could. So I think that's all going to come out in the wash, you know, post August the 29th. Right. So there's lots of things happening that I have no control over.
Right.
But they're going to decide on what my direction is.
You can't help it, you know.
That's usually the way it is. Folks, I want to just remind folks, the link on the bottom of the screen, tenkar's-tavern.game/Rycroft will take you to Glenn's website. There's a shop there. You can buy stuff. Feel free to do so. It is good stuff. That's what we're talking about. Hold on a second. Let me just embiggen you for a moment.
There you go. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful?
That is awesome. It's a great book. I have 2 copies. It's as connected as you want to be. It tells you where you can put it in.
Yeah, they got a paragraph in there saying if it's in the Midlands, you'd probably put it here.
All right. So I have
two
copies, including the supplemental materials,
maps,
and I'm going to give away a copy. So what you got to do is email tenkars.tavern@gmail.com. Subject Rycroft.
Nice.
And I'll do it by end of the day on Sunday. And the ships. By the way, the shipping is U.S. only. If I don't care where you live, enter. Because if I randomly pick you and you're out of the U.S., you'll get a $20 prize or gift certificate, which you could use to buy Midland stuff or stuff from Glynn.
John Miller is saying that Exalted Funeral's out of most of the Midland stuff.
Yeah, so Exalted Funeral placed a big order kind of quite a long time back. And I sent a massive box of stuff over there. Pretty much, I sold out pretty quick, but they had all of the main books and some magazines and things. They did get in touch about replenishing stock, and I think somebody else ended up taking over their kind of resourcing and stuff like that, and then it kind of just went silent.
Yeah.
But I always said to people that said, have you got any stock in the US? Because the shipping costs are higher.
Right.
And I said, Exalted Funeral would have sold it previously, but if you want to like message them and say, can you get hold of some Midland stuff, then hopefully if enough people do that, they'll
it's nice to have it on Exalted Funeral because they also sell old school essentials. So
yeah, absolutely. So I kind of have a fulfillment partner now, GMS Hobby Game Logistics.
I was going to say, it wasn't Diamond Distributing, was it?
No.
You have some stock.
So they basically they handle putting stuff into retail. We talked earlier today actually about the possibility of shipping, because of this tariff thing, shipping a pallet of stuff over to keep with their US distribution guys.
Got to keep them happy.
So the only potential drawback to that is I've got to pay to get a pallet over there, and I've got to pay the import duties, which will be whatever they are. So there's quite a bit of cost that has then got to be distributed across the products. Right. But then whether that plus the domestic shipping is any cheaper than what it costs to ship.
God help us. Yes. I understand that, boy.
It's a tough gig trying to do all this on your own, because you're trying to manage all this stuff.
Right.
And you're trying to draw things for people to earn a living to pay the bills, while you then work on your own projects that you don't generate revenue.
I feel you.
Yeah, it's a struggle, but I'm still here. I've been here for 5, 6, 7, 8 years doing this.
Wow, that long.
Yeah,
and folks, if you need a freelancer,
there he is. Monkeyblood Designs,
cartography, layout. I've done loads of layout.
And he'll probably pull a pint with you too.
Yeah. Well, I've done a lot of Lamentations layouts.
There you go.
Current Adventure, Conqueror King.
Is Minerzine 6 and 7 still available?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm about to go on there and see if I can wrangle me a couple.
There you go.
I miss the days of magazine subscriptions. Now I have to go and it's issue 37 out. I got to go buy it separately. But, that's okay. It's you, your friend. That's okay. I don't mind.
So folks, it's kind of like the witching hour, so we should probably wrap up. But Glenn, do you have anything else that we need to know about?
Yeah.
Not currently, other than, if you can support a UK guy that's battling against the US president to ruin his business from afar, then obviously please go on the web store.
Well, folks, support Glenn. I can hold, and we'd like to. You know what? We should do this once a season or once every 6 months. Bring it back.
Yeah.
And we have new projects out
just to see what's going on.
Yeah.
The hours work for us. Glenn and I do an afternoon show most weeks. So
once a week, yeah.
So, all right, folks, we're going to wrap this up. I would thank Glenn, but Glenn's here anyway. Glenn, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Always great to talk to you.
And one last pimp. His website's on the bottom of the screen, tencarsTavern.game/Rycroft. And if you email me at tencars.tavern@gmail.com, subject Rycroft. I've already got a few emails in already. See them popping up on my phone. I'll put you in to be gifted. Again, I'll show it.
I'll show it.
A copy, because I have an extra copy.
I got the whole setup too.
So if you're outside the U.S., please still send an email. If I randomly pick you, you'll get a $20 gift certificate to drive-through.
Oh. Dave asked Mountcastle, is there a source book for it?
Mountcastle. Yeah, that rings a bell. We've had that conversation before.
That was an inside joke. It was.
I guess it was.
Folks, live stream tomorrow night, Gamers Health, with myself and my wife, Rach. Other than that, be safe, be well, God bless. Roll those dice, roll them well.
Good night, folks. Thanks again, Glenn.
Good afternoon.